It's like you notice that fine girl who doesn't have any, job skills and shit. It's just like, well, I really don't want to be with you, but you are pretty much the only best option I have. So I'm just gonna stay with him until I find something better. That's kind of where they're at with the Dak Prescott situation.
What's happening? What's going on, everybody? Thank y'all for tuning in to another episode of Two Peas in a Pod with Tim and Ryan. As always, I'm Tim. That's my purple and gold wearing brother right there, Ryan, aka Frank Dank. What's happening,
What's up?
bro? How you doing, man?
What up? We're
Yeah.
doing the NFC East today, so you know what that means.
Oh yeah, we got I you know what you know what, bro? I'm not even gonna call them America's team because I can let me explain something to y'all. More than half of the people in America don't even like this fucking team. So I don't know why they keep calling this America's team. Don't nobody give fuck the Cowboys. I'm tired. I'm tired of them. Their fucking owner, the QB, their fan base. Fuck all the motherfuckers.
Well, couldn't have said it better myself.
Bro, you want to know something, bro? Dallas Cowboys and their fans, they're the most toxic relationship that I've ever witnessed. Like they're like that boyfriend or that girlfriend that can't they keep fucking with the motherfucker that keep cheating on them and keep leaving them. It's like, okay, let me explain to you how this shit goes. The Dallas Cowboys and their fans, right? Imagine we like their friends. We tell them every year, leave this
That's my
motherfucker.
quarterback.
Me like this is the level. This is the level of the relationship with that. This is the level of relationship with Dallas Cowboys. Y'all remind me of that girl or boy that can't leave their ex alone, and this is the status of it. You know, they break up. They break up. They get disappointed. They leave each other alone for a while. Dallas Cowboys go into the offseason. They getting ready to come into the season. Oh my God, this is our year. Boyfriend and girlfriend working things out. Oh, it's gonna be different this time, and they've changed, and then we keep trying to tell them, they gonna
They're
break
the
your heart.
exact
Leave
same
them
as
the
they were
fuck
the last time.
alone. Leave them the fuck alone. And then they don't listen. They fall for the trap every fucking time. They end up getting back together. And then they go through, they move in together. They're taking all the little cute pictures on social media. The Dallas Cowboys winning all these games. Dak Prescott putting up all these stats, putting up MVP stats and beating teams that they shouldn't fucking beat. They get to the playoffs. You know what I'm saying? The couple move in together. Everything is looking good. But we constantly telling them, do not fall for it. Like it's all a fucking trap. And
Don't
they'll
fall
find.
for that shit.
Then what happened? They break up. The Dallas Cowboys get disappointed. They disappoint their fans once again. Then what? Now they all on social media crying, fucking makeup running all down their face. Oh my God, I hate my life. I fucking hate this. Like we told you, stupid motherfuckers, what the fuck was gonna happen? We tell y'all this shit every year.
All right. So this is the time of the year where the bullshit starts. Because usually, Dallas will at least have a decent draft. They didn't even do that. But shout out to one of my boys got drafted in late first round to Dallas.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Anyway, this is the time of the year where the fake hype, comes along. They may or may not start winning some games. They might even make playoff contention. Then it's our year. Then they lose in the first round of the divisional. And then, well, next year is our year. Well, I'm going to say it now. The Dallas Cowboys have been eliminated from the playoffs
I didn't even get a chance to read shit. He already.
uh, already because you guys really didn't do shit. You got the leading receiver in football last year who's in the last year of his rookie deal. Now, normally, what teams do when they have a player of that caliber or a player that showed up and showed out like that, they just go ahead and pay him. So that way, when it's contract time, they don't have to worry about it because we already paid you. But this is what's going to happen. CD is probably, if they don't pay this nigga before September, CD is probably, he might suit up week 1 or week 3, play the season or whatever, and when the season is over, he's gone.
And I can't blame him.
He's gone. And then you got Micah, who they're gonna have to start worrying about paying next year. Then you got Dak. This is the last year of his fucking contract. It's like he really ain't that good, but we ain't got time to get that much more worse.
No. What it is he's not the guy that we want, but he's good enough for now. Like as of this, what this whole contract shit is about. Look, right now you're as good as it gets. Motherfucker, you on the books for about 50, 70 million a year, so we can't afford to get rid of your ass right now. So you stuck and we stuck. So let's just get through this fucking season.
It's like, it's that fine girl who doesn't have any job skills and shit. It's just like, well, I really don't want to be with you, but you are pretty much the only best option I have. So I'm just gonna stay with him until I find something better. That's kind of where they're at with the Dak Prescott situation. Key additions: offensive lineman Cooper Beebe, running back Ezekiel Elliott. Shit, just kept him like I said. Running back Roy Freeman, whoever that is. Tyler Guyton, linebacker Eric Kendricks, edge rusher Marshawn Nealon, linebacker Marst Lufaya, Liufau. My bad, brother, for mispronouncing your name. Key subtractions from the team: DeMarcus Armstrong, center Tyler Badazy, Biadasz,
yeah.
edge rusher Dante Fowler, Stephon Gilmore. I knew that wasn't going to last long. Defensive tackle Jonathan Hanks, running back Tony Pollard, offensive tackle Tyron Smith. That hurt. Linebacker Leighton Vander Esch.
Yeah.
That and y'all got worse. You had some ballers, had some all-pro players I just named in that's gone.
And then they lose their defensive coordinator, Dan Quinn.
Yeah, then he goes to the fucking Redskins. So now you're gonna have to play him twice a year. And he knows everything you like to do offensively. So that's even better, right? So I mean, this is the typical Dallas Cowboys saga. He gets Jerry hits in the draft, gets some good players, brings in a couple players in free agency. Now motherfuckers want to get paid. It's only so much you got to go around. But what the fuck? What is Jerry doing? Does he owe the IRS or something? Is he in cahoots? Is he in cahoots with somebody? Is he into it with Trump? Like, why aren't you paying these motherfuckers or getting some free agents or something? Like, what are you doing? Cowboys have done absolutely jack shit since April.
Ryan, I'm going to tell you what the problem is. Everybody wants to get a ring. And they know Dallas ain't fucking going to do that. That's why. Look, let me break something down to y'all. It is now 2024, okay?
Coming up on
Dallas
30 years.
Cowboys have not gotten past the second round. That's the divisional round for anybody that's since 2004, okay? I'm sorry. 1994. 30 goddamn years, okay? So that's why nobody's going to Dallas, because they see these, no matter what you put on this team, no matter what coaching staff you put, they cannot get it done. And they're not going to get it done. Not for the foreseeable future, okay? Let's throw that out there.
I saw I saw something. I saw somebody with a poster uh during the draft, and it said to the extent of Jerry, please do the right thing and sell this team
They need to at this
because
point.
you're not getting it done. And I had I've said this before, and I'll say it again. I had a speech class in college, and the final was whatever we wanted to talk about. So and I got an A on my project too. My my project was basically about why the Dallas Cowboys would never be a contender as long as Jerry Jones is breathing. That is extremely fucked up to say. That's like that's like saying, man, I can't wait till this motherfucker dies. That is horrible to say. That's horrible to say about anything, okay, or anyone really, for that matter. So with that being said, Dallas Cowboys aren't going to do anything until Jerry Jones is no longer the owner.
Plain and simple.
Or anybody in connection with that family. For lack of better expressions. I do not like what they did. Okay, you brought back Zeke. You shouldn't have got rid of him in the first place. Everybody saw what I said. Okay, every time Zeke was in 2 years ago, you knew they were going to give the ball to Zeke. But then when they take Zeke out and they pass the ball a couple times, got some first downs, then they catch him off guard with Pollard, and then he gas you for a good 10, 15 yards. And then, oh, Pollard's so amazing. Pollard. And then last year, I stopped hearing his name after week 5. So what okay.
What are we doing?
I don't know. And I'm gonna close with this. For everybody that wants to compare the Lakers or to the Dallas Cowboys, to an extent, I understand with poor front office management with the Mitch Kupchak situation and got any worse, even worse with Jeannie Buss. But my nigga, the Lakers have won 6 titles in the 21st century. Can Dallas even get in the game to play for one? You know, you got to be in it to win it, right?
Very true.
You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, it's like Oklahoma's made the playoff 4 times and they haven't won. Well, don't you got to make the playoff to win something?
To at least get there and be considered.
Yeah, but that's a conversation for another day. I would like to no longer talk about the Dallas Cowboys. It makes my blood boil, and and I'll be honest. When I was younger, in like middle school and stuff, I used to like the Cowboys. I used to trip off of Michael Irvin and Troy Aikman and Emmitt Smith and hudda. Okay, what the fuck did you do after that? Now, don't get me wrong. They had some great players after that, some outstanding players after that. They didn't do shit, but I mean, they got paid and made money and all this other stuff. And a lot of players ended up leaving Dallas and winning a title after they left Dallas, like DeMarcus Ware, for instance.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, fuck you, Jerry Jones. And we're gonna move on. We're gonna move on. I've talked about this far too fucking long.
Hold on, I got it. Hold on, bro. I gotta make both. First off, I would like to say,
do you really? All right, I'm fucking with you.
First off, I would like to say, as much, bro, this is by far the worst fucking offseason I think Dallas has had in a very long time. Not to mention, we gonna come back to this. Dallas Cowboy fans, I need y'all to listen very close to these 3 words. Not this year. Okay? It's not happening. Not this year. Not next year. The year after that. The year after that. You're gonna keep going through this fucking cycle. First of all,
you get new ownership.
First of all, okay, we get it. We get it. Y'all, everybody's trying to devalue the running back, but in the Dallas Cowboys case, you fucking need it because obviously you can't depend on the motherfucker you paying your most money to. supposed to be one of the highest paid QBs in the league. Second of all, another reason why you motherfuckers are not going to make the Super Bowl or even get to the third round, you had three chances to do it in back-to-back years. It was set up fucking perfect for you.
Oh, yeah, you're the first team to win 12 games 3 years in a row and did nothing.
You couldn't get past San Francisco the first 2 years. Last year, it was literally set up for y'all to get to y'all were gonna get 2 back-to-back home playoff games, and you was not gonna see San Francisco until the third round, and you couldn't do that. So I really don't know. I really don't fucking know how y'all gonna convince me that y'all gonna make the fucking Super Bowl this year. Okay, so let's just once again, Dallas Cowboys fans, listen very closely, not dash this dash year, exclamation point.
Or next year, the year after that, or the year after that, or the year after that, or the decade after that, or by then Jerry should be dead. I'm not commenting anymore on the Dallas Cowboys.
Let's move on, man. Let's move on. Next up, we have who finished in second place last year. We have the Philadelphia Eagles, who went 11-6, lost in the wild card round. Some key departures for this team. They lose edge rusher Hassan Reddick. They lose safety Kevin Byard, running back DeAndre Swift, running back Rashad Penny, offensive lineman Ayasua Opeta, linebacker Nick Morrow. Some key additions for this team, one of the biggest in the offseason, actually. Running back Saquon Barkley, tight end CJ Uzama, cornerback CJ Gardner-Johnson, linebacker Devin White, right tackle Mekhi Becton, edge rusher Bryce Huff, linebacker Oren Burks, Julian Okwara, offensive coordinator Kellen Moore, and defensive coordinator Vic Fangio. Last year, keep in mind, Philadelphia lost 4 of their last 6 games before the playoffs, which is why I definitely feel like they lost in the wild card round because they simply had no momentum. But Ryan, you go ahead, you take off first.
Oh, they did better than Dallas,
which ain't very hard.
Yeah, I mean, you got Saquon, easily top 5 running back talent-wise in the NFL, and now Saquon is in a situation where he's not the focal point of the offense.
Right.
You got Devontae Smith, you got an AJ Brown, you got Goddard, you got Jalen Hurts, you got a strong offensive line. I'm wondering what they're gonna do about the center situation with Kelsey retiring. But there's a lot of positives that can go with this. I mean, the defense is relatively still kind of young. Half of it is fucking Georgia Bulldogs, for Christ's sake. So with that being said, there's an upside to Philadelphia's future this year. If you ask me right now, I'd pick Philly to go ahead and win the NFC East, which is not really a hard thing to do because you got you really, I mean, really, if you want to talk about stability, I mean, they can say what they want about the head coach and all that, but stability-wise, I mean, damn, this team just played for a Super Bowl not that long ago.
Right.
I think Jalen Hurts was injured, and he was just playing through it. So I don't think they'll use him as much in the running game as they have been in past previous years.
I don't think they will have to.
I mean, with Saquon, they'll be all right. They'll be able to come up with some cool things to do within this offense. Added several wide receivers to go with the wide receivers they already have. So as long as Jalen progresses as a passer, which I feel like he will, the sky's the limit. I mean, the defense, honestly, what the reason why they lost those 4 games too, because defense went to shit, man. They couldn't stop nobody. It wasn't the same Eagles defense. They got old up front. So I think what changing scenery for a couple players and just new life. You don't have the shadow of, you lost the Super Bowl and blah 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 blah. Now you can just go out there and play football.
Yep. I agree. I'm gonna come out and say it right now. I agree with you. I think Philly should be the favorite to come out of the NFC. I love the offensive and defensive coordinator hire. You got offensive coordinator Kellen Moore joining this offensive staff. You know what he was able to do with Dallas's offensive staff a couple years ago? That look, it wasn't his fault why they lost them fucking games once again. And then you get defensive coordinator and defensive guru and Vic Fangio. I'm pretty sure he's gonna keep. Let's just throw this out there. The Eagles are honestly one of the worst pass defenses in the league last year, and I think the year before that. They're horrible situational football. So bringing in a guy like bringing in an experienced guy like defensive coordinator Vic Fangio to pair with some of these young guys on this defense, man, I don't see very many teams, especially because they're playing the NFC East. I don't see the Eagles giving up, as many points as they did last year. So I definitely think they're gonna win the division. What I'm most excited about is seeing Saquon in this offense with Jalen, AJ Brown, and Devontae Smith. Like, dude, pick your poison as long as everybody can stay healthy. And then you get to play the Giants, your former team, twice a year. Oh God. Oh, when they play the Giants, that shit is gonna be must-see TV. I'm expecting Saquon to have a bounce back year. And he's also, honestly, he's gonna be my pick for NFC Offensive Player of the Year. That's all, I'm willing to put money on that as long as he can stay healthy. But yeah, the sky's the limit for this offensive, for this Eagles team. And like I said, I'm picking them to come out of the NFC this year and win the NFC East, which me and Brian both agreed that it's really not hard to do.
I mean, last 3 years have been a two-team competition there. I mean, outside that 1 year where Dallas, Philly, and the Giants all made it, but we saw what happened that year.
Anytime Dallas is in the playoffs, you can pretty much after the second week of the playoffs, you can kind of not see it
there. I mean, bro, the start of that game, Dak looked like nigga saw a ghost out there or some shit. Saw a demon on the field. Oh God! I don't know. I don't know what the fuck was going on there.
Yeah, when they broke out the NFC East champion hats and they looked at Dak like, why you not wearing yours? So I want something bigger. Yeah, you want a sombrero to be in Cancun, motherfucker. That's the fuck you want. Next up, we have
Negroes.
Next up, we have the New York Giants, who finished the season last year 6-11. Obviously, missed the playoffs. Some key departures for this team. Just talked about them. The biggest one: running back Saquon Barkley, cornerback Adoree Jackson, offensive guard Mark Glowinski, quarterback Tyrod Taylor, defensive lineman Ashawn Robinson, safety Xavier McKinney, edge rusher Jihad Ward, Matt Breida at running back, offensive guard Justin Pugh, center J.C. Hassenauer, and offensive guard Tyree Phillips. Key additions for this team: wide receiver Allen Robinson, QB Drew Lock, edge rusher Brian Burns, running back Devin Singletary, cornerback Trey Herndon, cornerback Jalen Mills, offensive guard Aaron Stinney, left tackle Matt Nelson, wide receiver Isaiah McKenzie, left guard John Runyon, and of course they drafted one of the top wide receiver prospects, Malik Neighbors, out of LSU. So Ryan, once again, you go ahead and you take off on the Giants.
I mean, at least they addressed some of the problems they had. They got some more wide receivers. I don't. Was Saquon a free agent this year?
Yeah, he was a free. I believe he was a free agent.
And I would have traded. I would have traded his ass somewhere far in the AFC. How do you let Saquon go to the Eagles and get nothing for it? You knew he wasn't gonna be signed with you. Then did you see the Hard Knocks episode?
Yeah, I did. I saw it.
Where the owner was like, "Boy, I really like Saquon. He really don't like y'all." And it's sad. It's sad where a kid is getting ready to live out his dream, and then openly says before he gets drafted, "I hope it's not the Giants, but if it is, I mean, damn." Oh my! You talk about a dumpster fire. You talk about a tire fire. That's what's going on in New York, bro. Then you get quarterback Drew Lock. Who is making the decisions in this organization? Because they need to be fired. GM needs to go. They were looking at a quarterback in the Hard Knocks episode I saw, but they were like, "Fuck it, let's just get Daniel Jones a weapon." This team
ain't gonna be much of a weapon if he can't get him the fucking ball.
That's what I'm saying, man. It's just like Drake London and the tight end Kyle Pitts that's in Atlanta.
Yeah.
Now maybe this year we might see what they actually can do. Maybe this year, but I doubt it. They just wasting potential. Um, they went 6-11 last year,
Yeah.
so they can probably win 2 more games.
Maybe. Health
That maybe,
pertaining.
yeah, help retaining. I mean, but like, dude, come on, them first 3 or 4 games of the season was like, damn, they got steam fucking rolled.
Yeah.
Then that game, then that Michael Parsons game that nigga had, I mean, he was just going fucking crazy every time he dropped back. There he was. I know Daniel Jones is strongly considering if I didn't get this fucking money, I wouldn't mind being a real estate. I wouldn't mind being a real estate agent. You know what I'm saying? But um, I the I don't I don't see them doing anything. But again, this is the same team that won 10 games 2 years ago.
Yeah,
So
well, we didn't expect them to. Yeah.
yeah. So I, I mean, I like some of the additions they got. I mean, they really answered the call on what they needed. I mean, Devin Singletary, he's no Saquon, but he's not a slouch.
Right.
But
We know who he is. Yeah.
right, Jordan Phillips, that's not bad. Malik Neighbors, obviously that's a pretty good pickup. I gotta see it, man, because when you overthrowing the screen past 5 fucking yards in practice,
Don't forget, Ryan, our boy is up there too from OU. Eric Gray, he's up there, and he had a pretty decent showing last season.
he, yeah, man, I just want the nigga to stay healthy long enough, long enough to get traded to get another contract somewhere else. That's what I want.
With this Giants team, I'm glad they addressed some of the needs on the offensive line, because that first game they came out against the Dallas Cowboys, I'm like, bro, if this is what the fuck is gonna look like, y'all gonna have to start, bro. Y'all might have to start consider going, the Wildcat or something, because y'all paid Daniel Jones all that money. I hope y'all fucking got a health insurance policy on them too. But this is
his ass off the fucking field.
Yeah. This is another year of the Giants need to just look ahead to next year's draft, because they're definitely not winning. They're definitely not winning in the East this year. And I don't know. Maybe a strong maybe Daniel Jones can have a resurgence year and put his, get them back to the playoffs, but I highly doubt it. Malik Neighbors is probably the biggest bright spot on this team this offseason.
The only bright spot.
The only bright spot. I'm still not ready to give up on the head coach. I just don't think that Daniel Jones is the answer for this team. I really don't. I mean, this is going on year 6? No, year 5, year 4 or 5 of the Daniel Jones project, and we've just haven't. You've gotten one good year of this. One.
Let's put this into perspective, right?
Right.
So they got Daniel Jones because they reminded them of Eli Manning. Now, would you consider Eli a Hall of Famer?
You kind of got to. I don't like, bro. As a football fan, you kind of have to.
Yeah, he beat Tom Brady.
He has
beat
2 Super Bowls.
He beat an 18-0 team. Albeit it was some of the luckiest shit ever. And then what was that? 4 years later, you beat him again.
Yeah.
That which wasn't the same team at the time, but you 2-0 against Tom Brady in Super Bowl. But you also got to think about it like this: his brother is Peyton, his dad is Archie fucking Manning. Okay,
Right.
The football family royalty. So he has some different shit going on in between his ears than Daniel Jones. I always say this shit. I would never forget it. When Daniel Jones got drafted, he was like, "What the fuck?"
Well, I don't know if you.
Me?
I don't know if you saw like some of the reactions whenever like they drafted Daniel Jones. It was, what the fuck?
Oh, the Giants fans were not happy. They were not happy. But they loved that motherfucker 2 years ago. That's how he got paid.
I will say this, even though he got paid and that contract was looking like fucking, it was ridiculous at the time with some of the contracts that have come out since then. It's actually looking like they got Daniel Jones for a fucking bargain. Because some of these motherfuckers, Trevor Lawrence, some of the money they getting, I don't know how the fuck they getting paid all this fucking money. So, hey, salute to you, Daniel Jones. Glad you got your money. But if they gonna give you, bro, if they gonna give you this money, you need to give them their money's worth, my boy. Okay.
My boy.
Like you did one of the biggest gripes on this Giants offense was you didn't have no wide receivers. Now they got you a wide receiver. Get him the fucking ball, okay?
Nigga, Sterling Shepard pump fake on retirement just to get the fuck away from the Giants.
That just goes to show you how dysfunctional that fucking organization is right now.
I mean, that just goes to show you, well, damn, bro, I've been playing here my whole career. It would be nice to just not be in New York.
And that's and bro, if we being quite honest, name me another quarterback outside of fucking Eli Manning that had success with the Giants.
Phil Simms.
Okay, so you got me there. I'm not. Fuck the Giants, man.
That was really more so based off that defense and LT. I mean, but Phil Simms wasn't a slouch. But I mean,
his career is pretty much just like Eli's. Eli's success is based off of fucking Michael Strahan and that defense. So
and they just caught fire because they got their ass whooped last game of the season, the first Super Bowl.
Yeah,
and then they just caught fire. Sometimes you just catch fire at the right time. At the Arizona Cardinals with Kurt Warner that 1 year, and then when y'all beat them in the Super Bowl, like that.
Yeah.
All right, moving on to the Washington Commanders.
Yes, sir. Went 4-13 last season.
Yeah, that's why they added all these motherfuckers. Good God.
Yeah, let's start off with the departures first. Obviously, they got rid of head coach Ron Rivera, left tackle Charles Leno, wide receiver Curtis Samuel, cornerback Kendall Fuller, tight end Logan Thomas, quarterback Jacoby Brissett, running back Antonio Gibson, quarterback Sam Howell, and safety Cameron Curl. Who else did they pick up in the offseason?
They got Nick Aldrigetti, edge rusher Dorian Armstrong, center Tyler Bassett. Hold on, is this the right team? Yeah, I'm reading the right team.
Yeah, Tyler Biadasz.
Offensive tackle Brandon Coleman, quarterback Jay Daniels, cornerback Michael Davis, running back Austin Eckler. Wow. Tight end Zach Ertz, edge rusher Colin Farrell, edge Dante Fowler, linebacker Frankie Louvi, quarterback Marcus Mariota, wide receiver Luke McCaffrey, kicker Brennan McManus, defensive tackle Johnny Newman, cornerback Mike Stanstrill, tight end Ben Sinat, and linebacker Bobby Wagner. Yo, I mean, damn, they got some dudes they added.
Yeah, you leaving out some key pieces. They got picked up safety Jeremy Chin and cornerback James Pierre.
Well, I'm just going off of this shit.
No, you good.
This is Sports Illustrated what I'm reading this off of.
Oh, you good.
I mean, look, bro. The part of the reason why the Commanders weren't that good, they didn't really have the greatest offensive line, and then on top of that, they didn't really have the greatest decision maker at quarterback, and they only had one wide receiver. The defense is pretty much non-existent. But bottom line is, when you got a quarterback that likes to run and you got a bad offensive line, that don't mix. That's like oil and vinegar. You know?
I thought they had Sam Howell. I thought he played pretty good last year.
But did it equate in winning?
No, it didn't.
Yeah. What they had, I think it was like week 14, week 15. He's the leading passer in the NFL, and you stop hearing that shit. You stop hearing that. To be honest with you, the best thing for Jaden Daniels is to let Marcus Mariota play. But it's kind of like, you know, the good ones. Okay, like Patrick Mahomes, he had Alex Smith his first year. He didn't, at least he had a quarterback that was smart and a good decision maker.
Right.
Marcus Mariota, I just think he's just the template because he was the first of what we see now in quarterbacks in the NFL, strong arm, athletic. But I just think that he's just gun shy. As soon as pressure gets to him, he's throwing that mug anywhere not to get hit. I have still got a lot of questions about the defense. I don't know what that's going to look like. And I mean, overall, I mean, Jaden Daniels is talented, but he does get a little lackadaisical with the football, and he does put his body out there, doesn't protect himself the best from me watching him at Arizona to LSU up until this point. So uh, the sky's still the limit. This is the most optimistic time of the year because everybody feels good, feels like it's going to be their year. Then by week 6, you're going to figure out if it's your year or not. But I'll give I'll give the Commanders B plus 87 because I mean they went out and got dudes. They got bodies. So somebody gonna do something.
I actually like this Commanders team more than people may think. You get head coach Dan Quinn. You get Dan Quinn as your head coach, and like it or not, y'all can keep talking about that 28-3 bullshit. Whatever. It's not bullshit. It's history, is what it is. But he did lead the team. He did help lead the team to the Super Bowl. Hell, he turned Dallas's defense into one of the best defenses in the league, and they picked up some pieces on the defense. They got a couple guys that's gonna smack you in the fucking mouth. And as far as Jaden Daniels goes, I think he's going to be a day one starter. I feel without a doubt he's going to be a day one starter. And look, the Cliff Kingsbury project, it didn't work out. I don't think he was. I say this all the time. I do not think he was meant to be a head coach in NFL. I think he's better off as a coordinator. And him having a guy like Cliff Kingsbury as his coordinator and them putting some weapons around him on the offense, I think Jaden Daniels might take a minute, might take 5 or 6 weeks for him to adjust to the speed of the NFL and adjust to some of the defenses he's going to see. But I think after a minute we might see Jaden Daniels settle in, and he might have a better rookie year than people think. The question I have is Washington is going through a complete culture change because the owner, Dan Snyder, fucking piece of shit. Fuck you. I wish you nothing but I hope you have the life you deserve. Let's just say that. I'm not a fan of that, man. But no, they're going there. They got a new owner who seems to be more in tune with the team and with the league, I should say. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens with this Commanders team, not only this year but years to come. They've been their historic franchise when they were the Redskins, and like it or not, that fan base is still there. So, it maybe not this year. I think they might put up some points. They might flash here and there. I'm hoping this is year Terry McLaurin can, really go over the top because he's this day's D-Hop. The man's had like 5 or 6 quarterbacks, and he's put up at least 900 yards and 5 or 6 touchdowns every year. So I'm excited for him.
I mean, when you're in the rebuild, it's kind of like the last thing an established wide receiver wants. But you still on contract, buddy. So until you get traded or your contract is up, this is what it's gonna have to be. So you might as well go out there and make the best of the situation.
Yep, I agree. I mean, hell, they're gonna be better than the Giants, I feel, if we being completely honest here.
Yeah, I mean, one's a dumpster fire, other one's a tire fire. Just which one can you put out quicker?
True. I agree with that. Now, moving on to this is honestly become one of my favorite segments of the show because it makes you think a lot. You got to think on the fly. Mine, I'm kind of cheating because I wrote mine down, but We got to come up with a slogan or saying or whatever for each team in this division this season. I can't wait for this one. First up, we got the Dallas Cowboys. Ryan, if you had to create a logo or a quick saying for the Dallas Cowboys, what would it be?
Hey, look, man, pay CD.
Okay.
Pay CD and settle team, nigga.
Fair enough. I'm not mad at that. Me, plain and simple. I said it already. My slogan saying or whatever for the Dallas Cowboys this year, not this year. They've already said how there's no fans showing up at their training camp like it has been in recent years. So obviously they don't feel strongly about the team as they have in the last like 3 or 4, 5 years or whatever, but not this year. It's not happening. Get it out. Dallas Cowboy fans, get it out your head. It ain't happening. Plain and simple. Moving on to the Philadelphia Eagles. If you had to create a short saying or a short what the fuck is it? I'm getting my words all mixed up. Slogan. I'm sorry. Yeah. If you had to create a slogan or a short quote for the Philadelphia Eagles this year, what would it be?
No pressure. I mean, yeah, pretty much this is still the same team that was there 2 years ago or even last year. Everybody knows what to do. No pressure. Just go out there and play your game. This team's only gonna go as far as Jalen's going, so I hope Jalen is not chasing too much pussy. But when you got access to all that money on now, things change. But just do your job, man. Yeah, I got it.
For the Philadelphia Eagles, I would say I wrote one down, but I'm not sure if I like it. I would say swoop for the kill. Swoop for the kill. Like, bro, it's there for the taking for y'all this year. Y'all have hands down the best roster, if not in the NFL, damn sure in the NFC. Y'all have the best roster in the NFC on both the offensive and the defensive side of the ball. So there's no reason why y'all shouldn't at least be back in the NFC Championship game this year. I got the Eagles going to the Super Bowl, but I feel like there is no reason why the Philadelphia Eagles should not at least be back in the NFC Conference Championship this year.
I don't know, because we still got Detroit. Still got to see what Green Bay is going to do. Still got the 49ers. But winning the NFC East, definitely. They're going to have to play one of, not both of those teams they want to get back.
Yeah.
That's a tall task to ask for.
Yeah, I would agree.
The Niners got their own fucking issues too.
Yeah, and we talk about them next episode. We're gonna get to that. Next up, we have the Giants. If you had to create a slogan or a quick saying for the Giants for what their mantra should be for this upcoming season, what would it be, Ryan?
Fire that whole front office and start over. Fire the whole front office and start over. I mean, like, geez Louise, the fact that you paid them. I mean, you gotta see it through. You paid him. You gotta see it through. Don't trade him because he's playing like shit now. See it through. You paid him. See it through.
Right.
So yeah, I think they just need a sweep of the front office and start over.
Kind of like what Tennessee did.
Yeah, get some people that know what the fuck they're doing.
I like that. I will say they did. Now, Brian Daboll did win Coach of the Year a couple years ago, but I don't think it's him. I just I agree with you. I think it's everybody that's around him. It's time for it's time for a changing of the guard with the Giants. That's what I think. Last but not least, we have the Washington Commanders. If you had to create a slogan or a saying for the Washington Commanders this year, bro, what would it be?
You better tell Jaden the slide. tell Jaden to slide, protect the ball, and be careful. Protect Jaden from Jaden. There we go. Protect Jaden from Jaden. Because Jaden think he's finna go running around. This motherfucker was getting blown the fuck up by middle linebackers and strong safeties and shit.
Yeah.
If he didn't break away. It's like, bro, okay, you saw Anthony Richardson last year. All right. You're not even you're a lot frailer than Buddy. So the chance of you getting hurt I don't know.
Astronomical.
I don't know. Them wiry motherfuckers, they like sponges. They just.
Well,
I don't know.
what helps him this year is the fact that they eliminated like the hip drop tackle and all that shit. So he might fare well. He might fare well.
Okay, when I saw that, I understand it, I get it, but I was like, damn, bro, that was like they only that was the defense's only fucking weapon they had against. I mean, you can't hit the quarterback. You know what I'm saying? Can't touch the wide receiver first 5 fucking yards. Like, what can you do? You can't even smack a motherfucker like you used to no more. They're gonna call that shit targeting.
Yeah.
So
what happened to the game that we love, man? Fuck.
motherfuckers shooting themselves in the chest, wigging out and doing some other shit after they retired, and they look at their brain. Oh, this motherfucker had CTE. So I don't know. I kind of find it strange that you can only test for something when a person is dead. I don't really.
They. I think at some point, probably within the next 5 years, they'll be able to figure out a way to, it'll be kind of like a concussion protocol. Like if they feel a player has CTE or he's showing signs of CTE, they might make him sit out the whole season. I can see I can definitely see something like that happening.
But I mean, come on, bro. Niggas running full speed at each other, crashing into each other. That's like running full speed into a motherfucking wall and asking how you feel afterwards. Not too good.
That's pretty much what football is. It's literally a fucking head-on collision course. This is when you think about it, the shit is really fucking barbaric. But it's exciting. You know what I'm saying?
And that's why if you're not playing quarterback or defensive tackle or them
wide
hybrids
receiver
or wide receiver, you're not getting paid. Because the likelihood, if you getting injured playing any one of those positions is high anyway because you're playing fucking football.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, that's why they stopped giving running backs $100 million contracts to blow out a fucking knee, and that's your season.
If we be honest, I love him. I love both of these dudes to death. But if we being quite honest, Le'Veon Bell and Todd Gurley fucked that all.
Yeah, and then people, and then
I love them both, but yeah.
And then people want to blame Ezekiel Elliott. And I'm like, this nigga was the best running back in football for a solid 5 years.
I mean, granted, he declined every year, but it wasn't very small increments, but he was still like the heart and soul of that fucking team.
My nigga, you can't be giving a nigga the ball 350, 430 times
a year. Yeah.
A year and think he's going to be the same motherfucker. No. This hurts.
Especially when he's getting hit every fucking game. So, yeah. And then if you got to keep in mind too, if you're a running back and like your star QB goes down or like your star wide receiver goes down, I know they got to be thinking, fuck, now it's on me. Now it's on me.
All right, hold on. Who's that motherfucker? What's his name? All right, Drew Lock, get in there.
Fuck, Drew, buddy. Go, Drew.
Go ahead, Drew.
If I had to come up with a slogan or like a mantra for the Washington Commanders this season, it would be command respect. Because if we being quite honest, the Washington, even when they were the Redskins, it was just like they were always just kind of there. Nobody it's Washington. Like nobody respects this team. They've always been kind of like Washington's always been like the annoying little brother in the NFC East. You know what I'm saying? Oh, there's Dallas and then there's Philly. And then even when the Giants, even when they was winning Super Bowls, it's like, oh, the Giants could be, then it's like, well, fuck them. Washington's still there, I guess. You motherfuckers still relevant. Yeah, y'all still got a team in Washington. That's what I feel like people think of Washington.
For a long time, Washington was considered one of the premier franchises in football. Not winning and missing on court. They haven't had it. I mean, if they would have handled that RG3 situation better, granted that motherfucker didn't want to slide either. I don't know. I don't know how to slide.
The fuck out of here.
Get the fuck out of here, nigga. You want $100 million or what? The fuck? I'm gonna learn how to slide, motherfucker. You ain't gotta call no national. These motherfuckers brought in baseball players from the Nationals
to
to
teach
show
him
this
how to,
motherfucker how to slide.
I
Bro,
remember
but Shanahan, maybe that's why Kyle ain't winning shit, because this shit his dad did to RG3. It's cursed RG3. I
ain't
don't
mad at
know.
that.
I don't know what it is. As soon as that motherfucker sniff a Super Bowl, it's like, nope. 25-3, or was it 28-3? No.
28, yep, 28-3, yep.
Up 10 twice on Kansas City?
No.
No. Jesus Christ. Poor guy. But yeah, I mean, the NFC East is gonna be one hell of a shit show. And
It always
I'm ready
is.
for it.
It always is. Get your popcorn ready. Get your popcorn ready. Not just like I said before. I think Philly's just going. I think they're gonna sweep this fucking series, this entire division. I really do. I think they're gonna run. I think they're gonna run laps and circles around these motherfuckers.
It's always, but this is one thing I can guarantee you about the NFC East: there will not be a repeat champ.
No, it never is. It never is.
It hasn't been a repeat champion in like 25, 24 years.
Just about.
It's been a minute, but but for me growing up, the Eagles has always been that premier team in the NFC East. I mean,
it seems like that.
Yeah, I mean, like, bro, like Andy was getting to the divisional championship game, Super Bowl, championship game, divisional, Super Bowl. It's just like he just needed a generational quarterback to get him over the hump.
Bro, the Eagles have been to the Super Bowl 3 times since 2000. 2004.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
04,
Dallas came
17, 22.
That's a damn shame, brother. Outside of the Commanders, every other team, the Eagles and the Eagles and the Giants have been to the NFC Conference Championship more than the Dallas Cowboys in the last 30 years. And that's sad.
I'm telling you, dog, if RG3 would have learned how to slide, that motherfucker would have got there.
Oh no, I agree. I definitely shit. If RG3 would have learned how to slide, I think he's sitting on somebody's bench right now, maybe competing for a job. Maybe. That's what I strongly believe that.
Or maybe, whenever they bring up RG3 Super Bowl MVP.
It could be. I don't think he would have finished his career in Washington, though. I think he'd have played there for 5 years, probably got the fuck out of there.
It was too toxic. The front office was toxic. You had a coach that didn't want him. That's a toxic situation.
Mm-hmm.
So, so that makes you wonder if the coach put him in situations that can compromise him, or like, are you looking out for his best interest? Like, what's your angle here? And that has always stuck with me.
Ryan, you know what? Let's have a little thinking segment real quick. Give me off right up top of your head. Give me 3 quarterbacks you feel like they came into the NFL too early.
Cam Newton, too early. Marcus Mariota, because I think if you put him in like a McVay, like fresh out of college, like a McVay or a Sean Payton type of offense, fresh out of college, that could have worked because there's principles that could have protected him from making all those fucking mistakes he did. But I mean, he was all right at Tennessee. Who came in too early? That's a great question.
One more.
Marcus Mariota. Came in too early. Damn. Andrew Luck. Because I don't know if Andrew Luck would have had an offensive line, then he'd still be playing right
now. I ain't mad at that one. I'm definitely not mad at that.
Because Andrew Luck was a fucking dog. Them motherfucker would take beating. And then he dressed and then he just like a motherfucker that's buying cocaine on a random alley at like 2:30 at night. Like you would not have been able to tell me that's NFL star quarterback.
True.
Yeah, okay, yeah, he's the cokehead, man. That motherfucker when he was talking about his retirement, his eyes was bucked in the motherfucker. He was hollering that shit. You know when you stop loving something, you just know when it's your time, and you have to go. I'm like, all right,
You
bro.
a motherfucker, boy. You a
Yeah, I'm like
motherfucker.
hair all stuck, sticking up and shit. Like you on that shit, ain't you? You high than motherfucker, high than the rare pussy.
So for
But
me,
nigga,
I'm gonna go.
he quarterback. Hell, Vic. If Vic would have came in now, oh my god.
If Vic would have came in now, bro, he got a Super Bowl by now. He got a
Yeah,
Super Bowl by now.
yeah.
But at the same time, I think Vic came into the game at the right time simply because there was not a quarterback that looked or played like him at all.
He
So
got it moving.
So yeah, Vic. When I think I definitely you can throw Vic in there. Vic should be at the top. I think Vic showed that. I think Vic showed he laid the blueprint of what the game was going to be in a few years. Not a few years, but in about time. I think he laid the blueprint.
Like a decade, yeah. I mean, like I remember having that conversation in like 2014, 2015. I'm like, the NFL, the prototypical quarterback is going to be a mobile quarterback. It's
Yeah,
not
at
going to
some point.
be this 5-step drop back, stay in the pocket. I mean, all those principles are still there, but like this the running ability that's going to get it going.
Yeah,
So the athleticism is going to change things. It's almost now you have to be athletic
you
to
have
play
to.
quarterback now.
For me, some QBs that came into the NFL too early. RG3, Cam Newton, and if I had to pick one more, this is kind of a toss up, but with the state of where the world is now, with everything going on with politics and everything, I say Kaepernick.
Yeah.
With his playing style, his scrambling ability, his big arm, I definitely feel like he was one of those guys that came in too early, and the 49ers really didn't do right by him. Like they dismantled the whole fucking
Oh
team
hell
and then
no.
made it seem like it was his fault. Like but yeah,
Because
those are my guys.
this happens every time. You saw it with Aaron's last couple years in Green Bay. It just happens all the time. When a quarterback gets paid, you have to let go of other pieces because you can't afford them.
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
we had to pay him, but it's like so that's why I admire Patrick Mahomes, but he ain't doing nothing but taking the page out of Brady's book. This deferred Brady probably still getting fucking checks from New England.
Probably. I'm actually kind of. Ain't this gonna be the year we see him in the booth?
Yep.
Yeah, I'm actually kind of excited to see how that plays out. Like how that is gonna, that dynamic. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
I mean, I still think Brady is probably one of the smartest QBs of all time. He's been prepping, probably practicing on this shit, all off season. So, it's gonna be exciting to see.
I got to see a glimpse of what it might look like one of them UFL games.
How was that?
The championship. I mean, it was dope. His timing was a bit off, but over time that he'll get that right. But he broke down the play correctly. He called out what he thought it was going to be, and it was that.
Mm-hmm.
So this timing after the first year, he should be all right. Only thing I don't like about this situation is how they did my nigga Greg. Man, they treated Greg like a second-rate prostitute or something, bro. It's like Greg was pretty good. He was pretty good calling that Super Bowl.
He was really damn good. Greg was really. I actually enjoyed really. Him and Romo were two players I really did not expect to make that transition like that.
but how seamlessly it
Yeah.
was too,
Yeah,
though. It's
like it was written. Like you couldn't. There was no. They got thrown into it, and it was just like it's kind of. This is what they would. It was written for them. Like this should have been what they had planned out their entire career.
mm-hmm.
But
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, but Romo, I'm like, damn. And then like this motherfucker, he sounded like he been doing this shit for 10 years. It's like that's what you should have been doing, throwing all them fucking picks. But did you ever watch that Football Life of Tony Romo?
I have not. I'm gonna. Now that you say that, I'm gonna. There's a lot of sports documentaries I want to watch, and
It's
that was
on,
at the top of my list.
yeah, yeah. It's on YouTube. It's actually interesting. It actually gives you insight a
Okay.
tad bit on him. I'm not finna sit here and say you're gonna be a Tony Romo fan afterwards, but you'll understand some shit.
Right on. Right on. I definitely put that on my list.
Yep.
Anyway, man, this is going to be it for this week's episode. As always, we thank y'all for tuning in. Please like, share, subscribe. Please, I've been saying this, bro. Let us know what we can and can't do better. And if y'all got some topics that y'all want to talk about, put them in the comments. You know, I would love to interact with the fans. So just, and next week is going to be our last divisional round breakdown. So please just, work that we getting closer to the season. We getting that much more excited. Next week, we will be doing
College
the NFC.
football.
We will be doing the NFC and the AFC West. And so I'm pretty excited to talk about that one. And we are almost through the dark days, y'all. Dark days are they just about over. They just about over.
It's over. I mean, ain't won the Hall of Fame.
Tomorrow.
It's coming.
Tomorrow night.
Hall of Fame ain't it?
Hall of Fame game, yes, tomorrow night. The Texans and the Bears, but Caleb Williams not playing.
See, you know what I'm saying? you know what I'm saying? Like this nigga, I mean, it's great to feel that way. I mean, obviously, I'm gonna be a Caleb Williams fan because thank you for that Texas game. That shit was about to be nasty.
Yeah.
If you didn't come in and did what you did. But this nigga really think he fucking Brett Favre or something, nigga. Like what the fuck,
I ain't want to say it, bro. I ain't want to. I get it. He's treating this shit like a business, but bro, you turning into too much of a fucking diva for me.
You have zero fucking leverage. You won zero fucking game. You played in no playoff game. You got into no conference title. You won no division. You have no pool. Everything you done is off the back of USC and Lincoln Riley. Nigga. Get the fuck. Whatever. See why I don't watch preseason?
I get it. I trust me. I get it, brother. I will be. Maybe not that game. I'm lying because it is football.
I'm not watching that shit.
But until next week, bro. I love you, man.
And until then.